Loyalty, one of the strongest words within the human language and within the three pillars of life. Simply defined, the act of giving or showing firm and constant support or allegiance to a belief, person, group, or institution. The three pillars of life consist of faith, loyalty, and sacrifice. Loyalty is initially learned through the development of friendships throughout one's youth into matured manhood. From these pillars of life, anything can be created, grown, protected, and prosper. Loyalty is the linchpin of a man's total existence. Understand this first and foremost. Loyalty without reciprocation is servitude. Loyalty is freely given from the bottom of one's heart and soul, whether you believe it or not. This validates the old saying, you cannot pay for loyalty, you can only pay for a service or a servant. Additionally, one cannot claim to have faith in God Almighty without a pure, unwavering foundational structure of loyalty to God Almighty, which should be visible and reflected in such a man's actions and beliefs, which is the true reflection of one's actual depth of their personal spiritual faith. One cannot create a functional family without loyalty, as one would naturally be unable to sacrifice appropriately for others, including for loved ones. Without faith, how can one be loyal, as there is no standard, foundation, or justification to be loyal to? Thus, without the prior, one cannot justify the sacrifice that comes with or is demanded from the act of being loyal in totality, leaving a vacuum of emptiness that will immediately fail under pressure or scrutiny in the moment, be it a moderate call to action, a severe emergency, or moment of adversity. On the other side of the spectrum, one who has faith has a foundation from which one understands the need and requirement to be loyal to those close to him. Thus, such a man has a firm grasp and understanding of the reality that should the necessity arise, he may be called upon to sacrifice for those close to him in times of adversity or need. Under such circumstances, such a man is more likely to be there in a pinch or emergency for those that are close to him, be they male or female, family members or friends. Only those who are lower than maggots fail to do so, and are to be rejected and removed from one's circle of friends or family, no matter the excuses or circumstances, for their failure to act. Man has had these unwritten laws in place for a millennia. We as men are forced to accept this reality, as one cannot function properly outside of this structure without being in a constant state of distress and unrest. The foundations of loyalty are the basis of mankind's natural evolution through time. From the initial point of evolution of man existing as nothing more than hunter-gatherers, to evolving into becoming nomads, to finally evolving to the natural formation of tribes. All this is due to the application and functionality of loyalty in its purest form. The circle of friends of a true man is never large. If you believe every individual around you that you consider to be friends is a true friend, then you have a rude awakening ahead of you. The old saying, "True friends are few and far in between," is valid for good reason. The old saying, "Everyone's your best buddy until the bill comes." It refers to the fact that during the best of times, or good times, everyone can't wait to hang out with you, party with you, and eat with you. But the moment a hardship or adversity should happen to you, those same people disappear faster than roaches when the lights come on in the kitchen. The loyalty you offer is priceless. It is your ultimate gift to another person. Whether you offer your unspoken loyalty to a true friend or to a woman you care for in a relationship, at no point should your loyalty be given to someone that doesn't reflect the same or similar beliefs, ideals, opinions, and structure of life that you exist by. To give one's loyalty to someone who differs from your core beliefs is a formula for disaster. At no point should you give your loyalty to a woman that is not your family member or in a physical relationship with you. Why is this so? There is no true friendship between men and women. Either she's your woman or she's someone else's woman. No matter how much you may like her, desire her, or swoon over her. If she is not your woman, then she is not to be considered a part of your circle of loyalty under any circumstances. She is nothing more than an acquaintance at best. A true man should never consider a woman anything more than a common acquaintance unless they are in the process of creating a relationship together. A woman remains a liability unless she is directly tied to your personal romantic life and immediate future. At no point can a woman intercede in a man's physical reality as a man can do for her. Thus, to give one's loyalties to such a woman would immediately make it a flawed one-way street, as she would be capable of using you as a man to help and serve her. But she would not be capable of doing the same for you on an equal standard in return. Loyalty functions within multiple unwritten rules. Those who have a corrupt character will use such unwritten rules to manipulate you to do things for them. But they will never return the effort in your times of need or adversity for you. This is why it is so important for you to carefully select who you identify as true friends. If there are any questions about a person's character, then one must keep them at arm's length and defensively position yourself against any such maleficent actions by such a person, which then begs the question, why the hell is such a person around you in the first place? Thus, one should end such a toxic friendship and move on with your life. Once again, we are reminded of the key foundational elements to loyalty. It is understood to be a two-way street, and that which is given is expected in return, should it be necessary. As there is no time limit to such reciprocation, the power of loyalty should never be abused. A man should never put money between his true friends. It is wise to give money to true friends when necessary, but never loan money to a true friend. That is why we, as men, give only what you can afford to lose. And if you can't afford to give more than that amount, explain it to your true friend, as it is highly likely that he will understand. Obviously, there is a certain point in relation to the amount of money given that changes the necessity of returning the funds, especially if the amount should be large or significant. Unfortunately, it is at that point the friendship will change, as one is expecting payment from his friend for the extensive amount of money he borrowed from him. Unfortunately, this is why you don't lend money to friends, because 90% of the time it will corrupt the friendship itself and likely end it. Obviously, emergency situations are different. In conclusion, loyalty stands as the foundation of manhood. That is the purest reflection of the quality of a man. This is due to the fact that such a man has quality true friends around him. No matter the number of true friends there are, it is a reflection of his character, depth, faith, and loyalty as a man. As such, a level of quality will also be reflected in the woman he keeps by his side, no matter how beautiful she is or isn't. How good a woman looks over time is meaningless in light of her impeccable quality as a wife, parent, and friend. We are reminded that beauty or handsomeness fades naturally over time as the years pass, so to base such a quality of a woman solely on beauty is a flawed structure in the long haul of life's journey. Thank you for your time and energy. May God Almighty bless you all.